What's the best version of Time Crisis you can play without buying the actual arcade machine? After all, replicating their favourite arcade game at home is one thing many arcade gamers strive for, and with gun games it's essential to have those vital mechanics in place that make the whole thing a true arcade-like experience. In the case of Time Crisis, it's gun, recoil, foot pedal and ultra-fast light gun response to make it work. I've been playing the MAME arcade version on PC for a while now using a Ultimark Aimtrak gun and foot pedal. My Aimtrak guns do not have recoil, but you can get them with it at more cost. And apart from a few sound jitters, Time Crisis on MAME plays really well, just slightly slow here and there on the gun response. Now the retro shooter version of Time Crisis is the PlayStation 1 version, not the arcade version out on MAME, so it looks distinctly worse in the graphics department, but it does come with recoil guns and foot pedals as standard, and that lightning fast gun response courtesy of the 4-point IR system. So which one is better to play? Does the addition of recoil and ultra fast gun response make up for the distinctly worse graphics? Let's find out. And yep, I know other gun systems are available, but Aimtrak are pretty close cost-wise to retro shooter, so I thought it a fair comparison. Send and light guns are available too, of course, but that foot pedal price and that tear your hair out setup, ouch, and gun full IR is a lot more expensive, full stop. Let's play. Right, now this is the retro shooter version of Time Crisis. Obviously with this I can use the pedal, which makes it a bit more authentic, and you get the recoil from the gun, which is really nice too.
Danger! Danger! Reload! Reload!
Okay.
Reload!
Wow.
Gotcha! Action!
Now this is the PC version.
Action! Halt! Action! 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 Action!
So which version do I prefer to play? The retro shooter version or the MAME PC version? But the thing is, there's plus points on both, but one significant difference which basically changed everything. On the retro shooter, you get the recoil, which was really nice. Yes, you can get it with the Aimtraks, like I said before, but my guns don't have it. But you do get that really nice, fast shooting system, which feels a little bit slower on the Aimtraks. It's just slightly behind you sometimes, which can be a little bit disconcerting when playing a shooting game. You want it to be as fast and responsive as possible. So we got that nice fast shooting action and we got that nice recoil. But the other thing which changed the game for me completely, quite literally, was the fact that this stays accurate. Like, you can just turn it on the next day, providing you're standing in the same place, it is going to be absolutely pinpoint accurate. You can look right down the sight of the gun and you'll see the crosshair in exactly the same place. This means you can play Time Crisis as it was intended, with the crosshairs off, with your own skill of aiming and shooting properly. The thing is, with the main version of this, using something like the Aimtraks, and obviously that will change if you used a different gun that was more accurate. Like this, for example, you can get these working on the PC or Sindens or Gun 4 IR, something like that. But with this, which is a comparable price to the retro shooter, I did find I had to have the crosshairs on, because these do tend to lose the tracking. Every day, if you play the next day, you may aim and you'll look down the sights at where the crosshair is and you'll see it's just slightly off. It's not very often it stays accurate for long. You have to recalibrate quite often. And even then, during the game, you can still find it wavers ever so slightly. So a bit of a thing with this, but it is a older technology, so not really knocking it for that. It's still very good at what it does, but there's no doubt that this is a more accurate system, and therefore you can play it with the crosshairs off, which was a far more satisfying way to play it. So ultimately, I do prefer to play it with the retro shooter, because the combination of that really fast gun response, that recoil, which was really nice, which I do have in these guns but not in my Aimtraks, and the fact it's so satisfying to play with the crosshairs off. It's a different skill completely. When you play with the crosshairs on in a shooting game, you're not really aiming and shooting, you're actually just moving the crosshair with the gun over the target and pulling the trigger. That is not really the point of a gun game. I know you can get sights on guns and things like that, and you can look down the sights and it's a similar sort of thing, but you don't actually have a reticule on the target. Obviously you can get a dot sight and things like that, but we're getting all a bit techie now. The point is that with this, you can play as it was intended, by aiming and shooting, and if you miss, it's because your aim was off, not because you didn't put the crosshair in the right place, which is a different thing completely. So with crosshairs off, I definitely prefer this. If you want to play with the crosshairs on, just because you prefer it, then I probably prefer the main PC version, because those better graphics do actually make a difference. And on the PlayStation 1 version, you may have noticed, there was a couple of moments where I seemed to be aiming at the target properly with this, but it was missing. That stage on the crates where the big hook thing comes down and there's a guy to the left, it was like, it's not a problem with the guns, I think it's an issue with the PlayStation 1 version of the game. I do actually remember this back in the day of playing this on the PlayStation 1 originally on a CRT TV, and it had the same issue then. You had to shoot a little bit to the left and above, I think, to actually hit that guy, and I think it's the same again with this version. But there is a way to get both. So overall, like I say, with the crosshairs off, prefer this. Crosshairs on, I prefer this. But there is a little widget you can get for the retro shooter, which I've ordered, called the Firebase Extension Hub. And what it does, it allows you to use these guns with that really cool recoil, the really accurate shooting system, the foot pedals, etc. on the PC. So that means I can play that much better looking version of Time Crisis on my PC using these guns with the recoil, with the accuracy, with the speed, with the crosshairs off, with the foot pedal, the whole shebang all in one go. That is going to be the way that I go about it. So really looking forward to that extension hub coming so I can have a go with that. Yes, the main version looks better, and it does actually play a bit better. It actually plays a bit smoother than the PlayStation version. So if you're used to that, you may come to the PlayStation version on retroshooter and think it looks kind of terrible by comparison, but if you've not played the main version and you don't know any better and you've just got this and you're playing all these games and you remember playing it in the arcade or on the PlayStation, then you are going to have an absolute whale of a time and still absolutely love it. But there it is, Time Crisis. 2 really good versions. It's like, what do you prefer? If you like crosshairs off for that authentic arcade experience, this is the better way to go because it keeps the accuracy, and the Aimtrak can lose it sometimes, which spoils that game. You can't trust it enough to actually stay consistent in your aim. It's like you're going to be missing shots which were actually lined up absolutely perfectly, and that can spoil the game. You don't get that with this. So that's the way for me. If you like crosshairs on, then probably the main version, simply because it just looks that much better and just play a bit smoother. But hey, let me know in the comments what you prefer, because this can go either way. Some people will prefer the retro shooter version just for the speed and the accuracy, and other people will say the graphics do make a big difference. So there's the video. If you enjoyed it, it'd be really cool if you bashed that like and subscribe button. We've got more comparisons of retro shooter versus main versions of these kind of gun games coming in the future, as well as a full review. I've deliberately waited quite a while before doing my review. I like to actually wait a few weeks at least before doing a review, because I don't think you can have things for a few days and make a considered opinion, because something like this, in the first couple of days you're all completely blown away by it. But after a week or 2 or 3, you may find out little things, extra things, which are good, which are bad, and you can provide a informed opinion about all those things, which is what I intend to do. So there it is, there's a video. Thanks for watching. Catch you again next time. Bye for now.